Are you feeling weighed down by your attachments, unable to truly experience the present moment? Have you ever wondered how to let go and find inner peace? In this video, we'll delve into the teachings of Buddhism to explore practical techniques and profound wisdom on how to let go of attachments and cultivate a sense of freedom and joy. Lesson 1. Identify your attachments. When we want to let go of ties, the first thing we need to do is figure out what they are. Attachments can be strong or weak, and they are often at the root of our wants, fears, and in the end, our pain. Figuring out these ties takes some self-reflection and awareness. It helps us see where our holding on comes from and how it affects our lives. Attachment is when we feel emotionally tied to things, people, ideas, or events that we think are important to our health and happiness. The mind that grasps strongly holds on because it is afraid of losing and wants to have something. This holding on sets off a loop of wanting and not wanting, which causes constant unhappiness and pain. Buddhist lessons often compare attachment to having a hot coal in your hand and planning to throw it at someone. We are the ones who get burned in the end. Finding out what our ties are can help us start to let go of them and be free from the pain they cause. There are many ways that attachment can show up, such as material attachments are the wants for things like money and things you can touch. Having material comforts isn't necessarily a bad thing. The trouble starts when our happiness depends on getting and taking care of these things. Having an attachment to other people includes our family, friends, partners, and even our social standing. Having relationships is important, but becoming too attached to someone can make you jealous, afraid of losing them, and set unrealistic goals for yourself. Ideological attachments are the strong thoughts and ideas we have about other people, the world, and ourselves. Holding on to these can make us stiff, intolerant, and prone to conflict when things don't go the way we thought they would. Ego, self-image, and self-attachment are all parts of our ego that we feel connected to. There are stories we tell ourselves about who we are and how other people should see us. This kind of connection can make people feel proud, unsafe, and like they need to be validated all the time. Experiential attachments. These are when you want certain situations, like happiness, success, or approval. When we become connected to these events, we keep looking for them, which makes us want them and then be let down. Self-reflection and awareness are the first steps in figuring out your ties. For this to happen, we have to look inside ourselves and carefully watch our thoughts, feelings, and actions. Here are some steps that will help you find your attachments. Think about what's most important to you in life. Think about the people, things, ideas, and events that you feel you could not live without. Ask yourself why these things are important to you and how they make you feel safe and happy. It can be very helpful to find ties by writing down your thoughts and feelings. Write down the things that are important to you and think about why they are important to you. Being honest with yourself about how these ties make you feel is important. Mindfulness meditation helps you watch your mind without judging it. Pay attention to your breath as you sit still. As your thoughts and feelings come up, pay attention to any habits of holding on or avoiding. Remember to pay attention to how your body feels and how it makes you feel. Pay attention to how you act when something you care about is threatened or taken away. Are you mad, scared, sad, or worried? It's possible that these feelings can be signs of connection. As you drive your fancy car, you may notice that it makes you feel very proud and safe. Think about how much time and effort you put into keeping it up and showing it off. Believe in yourself and think about how you would feel if you lost or broke it. The strength of your emotional response can show how close you are to someone. You might find that you count too much on what your partner or friends think of you. Pay attention to how their words and deeds have a big effect on your mood and sense of self-worth. Think about whether your sense of self-worth depends on how they see you. You may really believe something about a social or political problem. Watch how you respond when someone disagrees with you or questions your point of view. If you're angry or feel like you have to strongly protect your beliefs, it could mean that you have a connection. Think about how you see yourself in terms of your job or social standing. Think about whether your job title or your accomplishments give you a sense of who you are and joy. Pay attention to whether the thought of losing this rank makes you feel scared or threatened. Figuring out your relationships isn't about judging yourself or feeling bad about yourself. Instead, it's an act of kindness and self-awareness. By being aware of what we are connected to, we can start to figure out what fears and wants are driving our actions. Being aware of this lets us start the process of letting go. We can have more freedom and peace when we know what our ties are. We depend less on things outside of ourselves for happiness and more on our own inner sense of well-being. And this process also helps us develop equilibrium, which makes it easier to handle the ups and downs of life. Lesson 2. Practice self-compassion. Having kindness for yourself is an important part of letting go of ties. Buddhists say that self-compassion means being kind, caring, and understanding to yourself the same way you would be to a good friend. It's about being aware of our own pain and dealing with it with kindness and understanding instead of sharp criticism and judgment. Within Buddhism, teachings of self-compassion come from the idea that all living things suffer and that this pain is a normal part of being human. When we practice self-compassion, we recognize our own pain and struggle and treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. Self-criticism, on the other hand, is when we may berate ourselves for what we think are our flaws and mistakes. Self-compassion takes this idea even further by realizing that we deserve the same care and understanding. We shouldn't feel sorry for ourselves. Instead, we should recognize our humanity and treat ourselves with the respect and dignity we deserve. When we have problems, fail, or notice something we don't like about ourselves, being kind to ourselves means being gentle and understanding. We don't strongly criticize ourselves for our flaws or mistakes. Instead, we give ourselves love and respect no matter what. In Buddhism, this is linked to the practice of loving kindness, which starts with liking yourself. Knowing that pain and feeling like you're not good enough are normal parts of being human. Realizing that everyone has hard times and that we are not the only ones going through them is important. This point of view makes us feel less alone in our problems and more linked to other people. This is shown in Buddhism by the idea of interconnectedness, also called interbeing, which stresses how we are linked to all living things. How to develop self-compassion in real life. Being aware of our inner conversation is the first step toward being kind to ourselves. Always be aware of when you are being too hard on yourself. Meditation and other mindfulness techniques can help you pay more attention to these times. The first step to changing these thoughts is to just be aware of them without judging them. When you catch yourself being critical of yourself, choose to replace those thoughts with words that are positive and helpful. I am doing the best I can, or it's okay to mess up. Everyone does could be things you tell yourself. Take care of yourself like you would a close friend who is having a hard time. Remind yourself that you are not alone when you are having a hard time. Think about how many other people around the world are going through the same things you are. This might make you feel less alone and more linked. Think about how pain is something we all go through and how it brings us together. Do a meditation on loving kindness. Start by thinking caring and kind thoughts about yourself. Then slowly spread these feelings to other people, even those you find hard. May I be happy, may I be healthy, and may I be at peace is a good phrase to use. Learning to be kind to ourselves can make it a lot easier to let go of ties. Being kind to ourselves makes a setting inside our minds that supports growth and strength. Being kind to yourself can help with worry and sadness, improve your mental health, and boost your drive by lowering your fear of failing. It also makes our relationships better because we're less likely to put our own fears onto other people. We can have a caring relationship with ourselves by being kind to ourselves, understanding that we are all human, and staying in the present moment with our experiences. Being kind to ourselves not only eases our pain, but it also gives us the strength to let go of ties with more ease and grace. Lesson 3. Acknowledge impermanence. In the world of nature, you can see impermanence everywhere. Think about how the seasons change. Spring turns into summer, summer into fall, and fall into winter. This cycle is a great example of how things change over time in nature. Think about a flower that is growing in the same way. It starts out as a seed, grows into a bud, blooms into a pretty flower, and then gets weak and dies. Nothing stays the same forever, as this life cycle shows. The idea of change is clear to us in our everyday lives. Our bodies age, our feelings and thoughts change, and things that happen to us also change. Think about your own life and remember times when you were happy and then left, or when you were sad and then left. When we think about these changes, we can start to understand that both happiness and pain are temporary. Suffering comes from holding to things that are temporary, as taught by Buddha. We are against the normal flow of life when we cling to things, people, or events. In a loop of desire and distaste, we want to hold on to the good things and push away the bad ones. This holding on causes pain, because it goes against the truth of things. We can start to let go of our ties when we realize that things change. To become indifferent or cold in this way is not what it means. Instead, it means going through life with an open mind and heart, knowing that change is a part of it. Once we truly understand that nothing lasts forever, we can enjoy the present moment more and live with more peace and calm. Meditation is a great way to become more aware of how things change over time. As you meditate, pay attention to how your body feels, your breath, and your thoughts. As you look at them, notice how they change every second. For instance, when you focus on your breath, pay attention to when you breathe in and out. Every breath is different and short. This practice helps you connect with the truth that things change and will not last forever. Thinking about how things change over time can also change how we see our connections. Whether it's with family, friends, or a partner, every bond can change. As people and their situations change, so do the relationships they have. We can be open and flexible in our interactions if we accept this. We don't have to hold on to how things used to be or be afraid of how they might change. The fact that material things are temporary is another part of change. People in our society often tell us that getting and keeping things will make us happy. But once we realize that material things don't last, we can start to let go of our connection to them. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't enjoy and respect what we have. It just means we should hold on to them lightly, knowing that they won't make us happy in the long run. Being aware of how things change over time also helps us deal with loss and grief. We may go through some of the hardest times in our lives when we lose someone we love. When we accept that things change, we can see that death is a normal part of life. Even though loss hurts, realizing that everything goes through birth, old age, sickness, and death can help us find peace and acceptance. As you go about your daily life, remember yourself that everything changes. Enjoy every bite of your food, knowing that the experience will end soon. When you're with people you care about, enjoy the moments and remember that they are precious and short. Being mindfully aware can change the way you live your life by making you more grateful and present in every moment. You shouldn't be afraid of the idea of impermanence. You should welcome it. Being able to accept that life is temporary is the key to freedom from connection and pain. This understanding gives us peace and calm, which lets us live a fuller, more free life. Teachings about impermanence tell us to find beauty in change and to believe that we can grow and change. We can let go of our need to control and fight when we realize that everything is always changing. Instead, we can go with the natural flow of life. As we become more in tune with the real state of things, this knowledge can give us a deep sense of freedom and inner peace. Embracing the truth that everything changes over time makes us wiser and more empathetic, which helps us handle the changes and challenges that come our way with grace and strength. Buddhists believe that this lesson is one of the most important things they can learn to live a more free, and satisfying life. Lesson 4. Focus on what you can control. In the journey of letting go of attachments, focusing on what we can control is a pivotal step. Buddhism teaches that much of our suffering comes from our attempts to control things that are beyond our influence. By shifting our focus to what we can control, we can reduce our attachment and find a greater sense of peace and contentment. To begin with, it's important to understand the distinction between what we can and cannot control. According to Buddhist teachings, we can control our own actions, thoughts, and responses. We cannot control other people, external events, or the outcomes of our efforts. This understanding is crucial because it helps us redirect our energy and attention towards areas where we can make a positive impact. Reflect on your life and consider the areas where you feel a strong need to control. These could be aspects of your relationships, your work, or even your daily routine. Ask yourself if these areas are truly within your control. Often we find that our anxiety and stress come from trying to manage things that are outside our influence. For instance, we may worry about how others perceive us, the decisions of our employers, or the state of the world. These concerns, while natural, are largely beyond our control. By focusing on what we can control, we can let go of these futile efforts and the suffering they cause. This shift in focus can be deeply liberating. It allows us to concentrate our energy on actions and thoughts that are within our sphere of influence, thereby fostering a sense of empowerment and inner peace. Buddhism emphasizes the cultivation of mindfulness, sati, as a means to stay focused on what we can control. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. Through mindfulness practice, we become more aware of our tendencies to try to control the uncontrollable and can gently steer ourselves back to what is within our power. Start with mindfulness meditation. Find a quiet place to sit and focus on your breath. Notice the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your body. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. This practice helps to train your mind to stay present and focused on what you can control, your own thoughts and responses. As you become more mindful, you will start to notice the thoughts and emotions that arise throughout your day. Pay attention to any feelings of attachment or clinging, particularly those related to controlling external factors. Observe them without judgment and let them pass. This awareness helps to weaken the hold of these attachments on your mind. Focusing on what we can control involves cultivating inner stability. Buddhism teaches that our true refuge lies within ourselves, in our ability to remain calm and centered amidst life's challenges. This inner strength comes from mindfulness and meditation practices that help us stay grounded in the present moment. When you find yourself becoming anxious or stressed about something outside your control, take a step back and breathe. Remind yourself that your power lies in your response, not in the situation itself. By focusing on your inner state, you can navigate life with greater ease and clarity. Another practical approach is to set intentions rather than expectations. Intentions are about the quality of our actions and the mindset we bring to our experiences. They are within our control. Expectations, on the other hand, often involve outcomes that are beyond our control. By setting intentions, we focus on how we want to show up in the world, regardless of the results. For example, you can set an intention to approach your work with diligence and creativity, without attaching to the specific outcome of a promotion or recognition. Cultivating gratitude also plays a role in focusing on what we can control. When we practice gratitude, we shift our attention from what we lack or wish to control to what we already have. Gratitude grounds us in the present moment and helps us appreciate the blessings in our lives. This practice can reduce the urge to control external factors and increase our contentment with what is. We often feel responsible for the actions and feelings of those around us, especially those we care about. While it's natural to want to support and help others, it's important to recognize that we cannot control their choices or emotions. By respecting their autonomy and focusing on our own actions and responses, we can maintain healthier relationships and reduce our own suffering. Lesson 5. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a transformative practice that lies at the heart of Buddhist teachings and the path to letting go of attachments. When we focus on gratitude, we shift our perspective from what we lack to what we have, fostering a sense of contentment and appreciation. Gratitude is more than a fleeting feeling of thankfulness. It is a sustained awareness of the blessings in our lives. In Buddhism, gratitude is considered a fundamental virtue that can lead to greater happiness and reduced suffering. By appreciating the present moment and the goodness it contains, we begin to loosen the grip of our attachments and find contentment in what is. Regularly focusing on gratitude can improve our mental health by reducing stress, anxiety, and depression. It shifts our attention away from negative thoughts and cultivates positive emotions. Increased resilience. Gratitude helps build resilience by enabling us to see the silver lining in challenging situations. When we appreciate the small positives, we can better cope with difficulties. Expressing gratitude can strengthen our relationships with others. When we acknowledge and appreciate the kindness of those around us, we foster a sense of connection and mutual respect. Gratitude allows us to feel content with what we have, reducing the desire for more. This contentment is a powerful antidote to the endless cycle of craving and attachment. There are several effective methods to cultivate gratitude in our daily lives. These practices can help embed gratitude deeply into our consciousness, transforming our outlook and reducing our attachments. One of the most effective ways to practice gratitude is by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 to 5 things you are grateful for. These can be simple, everyday moments, or significant events. The act of writing helps reinforce positive experiences and creates a habit of looking for things to appreciate. Incorporate gratitude into your meditation practice. Begin or end your meditation session by focusing on things you are grateful for. Visualize these blessings and allow yourself to feel a deep sense of appreciation. This practice can enhance your overall sense of well-being and create a peaceful state of mind. Make it a habit to express gratitude to others. Whether it's a simple thank you or a heartfelt note, expressing your appreciation can strengthen your relationships and spread positivity. Acknowledging others' kindness helps build a sense of community and mutual support. Practice mindful gratitude by being fully present in the moment and appreciating the small details of your day. Notice the beauty of nature, the taste of your food, or the comfort of your home. This mindfulness fosters a continuous state of appreciation and helps anchor you in the present. Applying gratitude in our daily lives can transform our experience and reduce our attachments. Begin your day with a gratitude practice. Before getting out of bed, take a moment to reflect on a few things you are grateful for. This sets a positive tone for the day and helps you start with a heart full of appreciation. End your day with a gratitude reflection. Before going to sleep, think about the positive experiences and interactions you had during the day. This can improve your sleep quality and leave you with a sense of peace. Create rituals that incorporate gratitude into your routine. For example, during meals, take a moment to express thanks for the food and those who prepared it. Such rituals can make gratitude a natural part of your daily life. Gratitude is a profound and transformative practice that can significantly impact our lives. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we cultivate a sense of contentment and reduce our attachments. This practice aligns with Buddhist teachings and supports our journey towards inner peace and liberation. Embrace gratitude as a way of being, and watch how it transforms your perspective, enhances your relationships, and brings you closer to the essence of Buddhist wisdom. Lesson 6. Embrace mindfulness. Mindfulness is at the heart of Buddhist practice and is essential for letting go of attachments. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, we can become more aware of our attachments and learn to release them. Begin by practicing mindfulness meditation. Find a quiet place to sit and focus on your breath. Notice the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your body. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. This practice helps to train your mind to stay present. As you become more mindful, you will start to notice the thoughts and emotions that arise throughout your day. Pay attention to any feelings of attachment or clinging. Observe them without judgment and let them pass. This awareness helps to weaken the hold of attachments on your mind. Mindfulness also involves being present in your daily activities. Whether you are eating, walking, or working, try to bring your full attention to the task at hand. Notice the sensations, sounds, and smells around you. This practice helps to ground you in the present moment and reduces the tendency to dwell on attachments. By embracing mindfulness, we learn to see things as they truly are, rather than through the lens of our attachments. We develop a sense of clarity and understanding that allows us to navigate life with greater ease and wisdom. Lesson 7. Practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is a powerful practice that can help us let go of attachments, especially those related to past hurts and resentments. Buddhism teaches that holding onto anger and grudges only causes more suffering. By practicing forgiveness, we can release these burdens and find inner peace. Start by reflecting on any past hurts or grievances you are holding onto. Acknowledge the pain and suffering these attachments cause you. Understand that by holding onto these negative emotions, you are only prolonging your own suffering. Forgiveness does not mean condoning harmful behavior or forgetting what happened. It means letting go of the anger and resentment that are weighing you down. It is a gift you give to yourself, allowing you to move forward with a lighter heart. Practice forgiveness through meditation. Visualize the person who has hurt you and silently repeat phrases like, "May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be at peace." This practice may be challenging at first, but with time and persistence, it can lead to a deep sense of release and healing. Forgiveness also involves forgiving ourselves. We all make mistakes and have regrets. By offering ourselves forgiveness, we can release the guilt and shame that keep us attached to the past. Practice self-forgiveness by acknowledging your mistakes, learning from them, and letting them go. Through forgiveness, we free ourselves from the chains of the past and open our hearts to the present moment. This practice allows us to let go of attachments and embrace life with a sense of openness and compassion. Letting go of attachments is a profound and transformative practice in Buddhism. It requires self-awareness, compassion, and a willingness to embrace the impermanent nature of life. By identifying our attachments, practicing self-compassion, acknowledging impermanence, focusing on what we can control, practicing gratitude, embracing mindfulness, and practicing forgiveness, we can find freedom from the clinging that causes suffering. This journey is not about becoming detached or indifferent, but about finding a deeper connection to our true selves and to the world around us. As we let go of attachments, we create space for peace, joy, and a greater sense of fulfillment in our lives. May these teachings inspire and guide you on your path to letting go and finding true liberation. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today and embrace the path of letting go.